So today's episode is Fratellis NY Pizza in Canoga Park.
Very good.
Thanks.
So we were driving to Puzzle Pizza.
Yeah.
And on the way to Puzzle Pizza, out of the corner of our eye, we saw this pizza place, and we thought, after Puzzle Pizza, let's turn around and try this place, because it wasn't on our radar, and we thought, I was kind of thinking, it's spontaneous. We'll find something maybe interesting. So after the Puzzle Pizza disaster, we turned around.
So as we were driving to Puzzle Pizza, and we saw this place, Fratellis, I went ahead and looked it up online just to see what the ratings were, to see if this is a place that we even want to visit.
Yeah.
And there were several reviews. There were, I think it was like over 600 reviews, and I think the highest reviews, and they have like 4.6, 4.7
on Google.
On Google. So we thought, okay, this might be a place. Anyway, so you were going to say Puzzle Pizza.
No, that's it. I was just saying, on the way, we just saw it at a corner of our eye, and we thought we'd go and turn around and try it. So we did. And it's in Canoga Park. It's in a neighborhood, so a residential neighborhood.
Zero parking.
No parking.
Zero.
Anywhere. So that's a kind of an issue right off the bat, because if you're driving in... So there were a lot of people when we were there were walking in. I think people just live in the neighborhood, just walk to it, which is probably great for them.
Which he said.
Yep. But if you're driving in, it's a little bit of a challenge to find parking. They're using their parking lot for seating, which probably is a holdout from COVID.
And it's a small, tiny parking lot, so it probably would hold 6 cars anyway.
Maybe, yeah, maximum 6 cars. So they had a bunch of tables there, and they had tables inside. It looks like it was an old house or something at one point that was converted into a restaurant. Anyway, I just saw in NY Pizza. I thought, let's try it. So anyway, we went, and you ordered
the Alfredo spinach pizza.
Alfredo spinach pizza, which is spinach, bacon, mushrooms, fresh tomatoes, fresh garlic, and mozzarella cheese. And it was very fresh, so we had to wait for a few minutes to get it. And when it came out, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
To me, it did not look like a New York pizza. I mean, it's a New York style, I guess, but the thing about it was that it has a lot of ingredients on it. It's loaded with ingredients, and typically a New York pizza is a little bit lighter on ingredients. It's a little sparing on the ingredients.
Well, and what was interesting too is that the ingredients were like minced. They were tiny little bits of pieces of everything. So the presentation really wasn't great for me, like a pizza that was made specifically for you. It just looked like a pizza that's just where they just pump them out.
Oh, and I think that's probably what they do.
But
it's a high volume place, I think.
But there was hardly anybody there. There was only one other couple there.
Well, we were there kind of very near closing, so it might have been busy earlier. I'm not so worried about that. However, I thought it was okay. It wasn't. I mean, if I lived in the neighborhood, and I would probably go there
because of convenience.
Because it was good. It was okay pizza. Wasn't one of our better ones.
No, and the crust wasn't unique, wasn't spectacular. It was just. I felt it was a little salty. Not too much. Just the dough itself. I think it just had a little bit too much salt in it. which kind of gave it a different taste, different texture.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think the crust had a lot of flavor.
No, not at all.
The crust was it was a thin crust.
It's pretty bland.
Yeah, the crust didn't have a lot of flavor. The ingredients did on the top, but the thing about it for me was there was just too much ingredients on the top. I think it could have been. I think more is not better necessarily, and I think in this particular case, if they had kind of less ingredients on the top, it would have been probably a better pizza.
Yeah, it's funny because with
and I don't want to poo-poo on it because it's a family-run business. The guy was very sweet. The owner was very sweet.
They've been open for 35 years.
Yeah, he's been around. He actually had to move from a previous location to this one.
Two other locations.
Yeah. So he had to do it during the middle of the COVID, which probably really, I understand as a business owner myself, really tough for him probably. So,
well, they moved to that location and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So that one, they moved there just before COVID.
I can't imagine. That would be just.
But
I'd be out of my mind.
What I was going to say is that with in comparing it, because on that day we did 3 other locations, which is Topanga Social. When I took a bite of Topanga Social, my mouth was actually watering. And I'm surprised that the camera didn't catch my saliva. And also with Lucky's, I was also salivating over the pizza. This one, it didn't give me that feeling. It was just okay. It was there. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
It was just a very average pizza.
But
there was nothing about it that was.
I'll tell you what. So that night, I was really exhausted when we were driving back home, and you dropped me off, and I was really tired. But as soon as I got in the house, I was like, I can't sleep, and so I just sat on the sofa and I made myself a cocktail, and I thought to myself, I'm just gonna have a nightcap before I go to bed, and I got hungry, so I went to the box and I pulled out a slice. It was so much better cold. Maybe that's
you forgot to tell me that part.
Well, I'm telling you now. I think that's the secret to this pizza. Eat it cold, because hot, not so bueno.
So having it cold actually improved
it was
flavor?
actually so much better cold.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know.
There you go.
And I don't like cold pizza, but this tasted good cold. And then I went to bed and fell asleep.
Nice. Anyway, I mean, I don't want to give it a.
I'll give it a thumbs up. I mean, it's not a strong thumbs up, but I'll give it a thumbs up. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up too. I'll give it a thumbs up because the pizza was decent. It wasn't great, but it was decent.
It was decent. Maybe it was just the pizza itself. Maybe they have other toppings that pizza toppings that would work much better for us. I don't know. I
was not mad at the pizza at all. The pizza is decent. It's just that I if I were had a conversation, I would say maybe work on the crust.
Yeah.
You need to work on the crust a little bit. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, so I guess that's it.
Yeah. So where are we going next week?
I don't know. Well, I was kind of flirting with the idea of going to the Huntington Gardens at the Huntington Library, and they have pizza there, and why not? We're visiting a location, they have pizza, why not rate it?
All right, well, let's do the Huntington. It's called 1910.
No, 1919 is the restaurant. 1919 Cafe.
1919 Cafe at Huntington Gardens. So we'll try the pizza there.
Yeah, and we'll see how that turns out.
And we'll tell you about it next week.
All right.